Hello and welcome to Boss's Day Out on NDTV Profit. It's 7:45 in the morning and I'm standing outside the house of Mr. Ravi Sharma, President and Managing Director, Alcatel South Asia. He is responsible for the company's operations in Bhutan, Bangladesh, Nepal, Maldives, Sri Lanka and India. Incidentally, 1 out of every 2 user of BSNL or MTNL uses the technology of Alcatel. Now we're going to go meet Mr. Sharma, who is taking a walk with his wife Anshu. Hi, Mr. Sharma. How
Morning,
are you?
Ambika.
Anshu,
Meet my wife,
hi.
Anshu.
Nice meeting you. Hi.
Same here.
Should we start our walk?
Of course.
All right, come. So do you walk every morning?
Every morning, whenever I am here,
All right.
she walks every morning.
And how often is it that you travel?
20 days a month.
20 days a month. Okay. And how do you cope with that? Are you working as well?
No, I'm not working.
All right. I see.
Somebody has to look after
I see.
everything.
I see.
I look after little things, she looks after the rest.
I see. And where is it that both of you met?
Well, that's a long story. We met in IIT. She is an architect by profession.
Okay.
We were of the same batch.
Okay.
So it's more than 25 years when we met.
Tell us, how did you get into telecom? And what all did you do before you joined Alcatel?
That's a very, very old story. I did my electrical engineering from IIT Roorkee. And after doing engineering, I was working with an electrical company called Cutler Hammer. Okay. But I was very fond of Lucknow. And I wanted to go back to my home city, Lucknow. And therefore, I appeared for the interview of Uptron. And during the interview, I was told that you have been selected. So you will not believe it that based on that interview, without getting the appointment letter, I resigned. Only to find later on that I have been selected, but I have been again posted in Delhi. But it changed my life because they offered me telecom.
I see. I believe you worked with the UB group as well?
I did. After working for 1 year with Uptron, I went on to work with UB group, where for about 7 years I worked with the telecom division. And for 2 years I looked after their corporate affairs here in Delhi as executive assistant to Mr. Vijay Mallya.
We'll ask more about Mr. Mallya and your experience with the UB group on the breakfast table. We're done with the morning walk. Now it's time for breakfast with Ravi and Anshu. After the walk, Ravi has gone in to get dressed. Anshu is already dressed and making some breakfast for us. So you were telling us about your experiences with the UB group.
Yes. See, UB was a very good experience for me because we started with telecom, and that was the time when telecom had just opened in 1984-85. In 1993, I joined the corporate office of UB, where I was there for 2.5 years, and I was responsible for the corporate affairs function for whole UB group.
So tell us something about Vijay Mallya, which the rest of us don't know.
I think the rest of you know more than what I know, okay? Because he is such a personality that it's very difficult for somebody to not take note of it. So I think he is everywhere, and all of you know the kind of success which he has made. Only one point which I would like to say, and which may or may not be known in the public circle, that I found UB as one of the most Indian professional company. I'm talking about 1984, that means about 20 years back.
All right.
So I think there was only one person who could be given credit for this, and that is Vijay Mallya.
Vijay Mallya. And why did you leave UB group?
Well, in UB I had a lot of experience in a lot of areas, but that was the time when India was opening up for telecom. I'm talking about 1995, and I got an opportunity to shift back into telecom because I could see that telecom is going to boom in this country. So that was the time when BT was thinking of opening their office in India. So I joined BT. As it happened around 98, BT bid for 3G licenses, and they decided to sell all their properties in India. And that was the time I thought that it's a good opportunity to start looking for something else.
All right.
And here I got opportunity with one of the Alcatel companies to start their office in India for a satellite venture.
Alcatel is into telecom infrastructure. Tell us what all does that really cover?
Alcatel, first of all, is the world's largest telecom infrastructure company. We manufacture everything from undersea cable to satellite. We are there in 130 countries where we have local offices, and open because you can see that I am neither French and nor have been working with Alcatel for a long time.
Right. Now Alcatel, which is present in 130 countries, we'll ask you about your experiences and what you think of the infrastructure, the telecom infrastructure in India later. First, tell us what's the day plan?
I would suggest we go to our corporate office, and from there I will take you to our development center where we develop the application software here, and of course to our manufacturing facilities where we still manufacture switches.
So are you into what your father does as well? Are you a techie of sorts?
No, I can't understand anything he does.
No? Since you are from UP, you must be very fond of Hindi literature. Are you into poetry or something?
Well, I was.
All right.
I was.
Can you recite
Because
a shade for us?
I had a Hindi background.
Okay.
So I used to be Hindi editor for my university magazine.
All right. When you recite your favorite...
See, I do not know who has written this this particular part, but I really liked it, and over the years I remember it. It goes like this: कश्तियाँ मौजों में, तूफानों में लंगर डूबे, एक हम बचे थे, तो किनारे पे आके डूबे. मैं तो एक कतरा था, नज़र मिलाता कैसे उनसे. मैं तो एक कतरा था, नज़र मिलाता कैसे उनसे. ऐसी आंखें कि समंदर का समंदर डूबे.
Bosses.
Alcatel has offices in 130 countries. In India alone, it has 10 offices and 2 development centers. We're now about to go into its corporate office in Gurgaon. And now you are placed in 130 countries,
That's right.
Alcatel is. If you were to compare the telecom infrastructure in India compared to the best in the world, how would you compare it?
Let's do it reverse. I would say that the development which is happening in India is much faster than anywhere else. So it is the fastest, one of the fastest growing market
All right.
for the world and for Alcatel too. This is our new office. Have a seat.
Till a month ago, Alcatel did manufacture handsets. What happened to the, and I believe a month ago, in the last 1 month, you have sold that business.
Telephone business was one business which was a retail business, and we found that we wanted to concentrate more and more on the infrastructure side of it. In last 2-3 weeks, we finally decided that we would further like to concentrate and enhance our presence for the infrastructure business. Therefore, we sold that business to TCL.
Now, a company like Nokia is focusing on handsets as well as telecom infrastructure. Why didn't Alcatel do the same?
Well, I think it depends from company to company. We felt that our strength lies in the infrastructure business, and that is why we are the largest company in telecom infrastructure business. For Nokia, still I find that their majority of their revenue is coming from the handset business, and maybe they would like to concentrate on both, but we have seen from experience that concentrating on both is very difficult.
How would you rank Alcatel in India?
Well, till 2 years back, I don't think our situation or our positioning was very impressive, but I feel it has tremendously improved. And one of our major challenge and major focus was to become the largest company in India. And I think we are going in that direction.
Now, Alcatel is headquartered in Paris, but in India, how is it structured, the organization?
Well, Alcatel globally has been organized into three segments, and the fourth segment is, of course, on the development side. And these three groups are fixed communication group, mobile communication group, and third is private communication group.
Out of all these activities, which brings Alcatel the maximum revenue?
Well, historically, it was the fixed communication group. Now it is changing.
It's 11:20 in the morning, and now we're about to go into a meeting where Mr. Sharma is going to review a presentation which has been made by the employees of Alcatel for a customer.
Good morning. Hi, Ravi. How are you? Hi. Hi, Ashit. So you had a good US trip?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so what we are going to review today is one of the presentations which we have made for BSNL for triple play services. Now, Alcatel is the market leader in broadband all over the world, and we have just bagged a very big contract in US for triple play services, which is from a company called SBC, and that contract is valued at $1.6 billion. BSNL is wanting to get into this area, so we have made some presentation for them, and that is what we are going to review today.
All these functions we had, they had to at least 7. So we are saying it's not triple play, you can at least have 7 features minimum. That is where the issue would be. Or this is just the evolution.
So something like this is great. It would create value addition for BSNL. But in terms of the end user, how many people will really be able to
Let's
use
go
it?
differently. Do you know the number of televisions in this country? 100 million. 100 million people watch television. And if those people get under the same connection, their television, their internet, and their voice, I see no reason why they should not be able to use it. This I am talking hypothetically. So that is the demand.
We're now about to go to the development center, which employs about 200 people.
The project which we have implemented is called ION platform. This platform has capability for about 30 million cards.
Okay. So what does it mean for a regular person sitting and watching TV at home?
It doesn't mean anything to him. It means to the broadcasters.
Okay.
So tomorrow when you do a program and you say please dial 6388, whatever number, it will be going somewhere, and some software platform will be taking care of it. That platform could be a platform like us. So we start with this.
Another meeting done, and now we're going to go and take a walkabout of the R&D center. Hi. Nice meeting you. Hi.
How are you?
So how does this operate? What's the function of this lab?
This is for the development support.
Okay.
We load our software inside this,
All right.
do the unit testing and the load testing also.
Okay.
You need a place where you have to develop it, and that development is done on these machines.
All right.
Then you test it, and once fully satisfied, then you go and implement the same thing at the customer place.
It's 3 o'clock, and now it's time for lunch. This is one of your R&D facilities. In terms of revenue, what are your revenue projections for the coming year from your Indian office, and what kind of R&D investment do you intend to make?
I would like to say that our revenues have increased substantially, more than 2 times in the last 2 years.
Now, Alcatel is present in 130 countries. Tell us some other interesting facts about how those markets are different from the Indian market. Anything interesting in terms of the trends?
What I find that India is emerging, and it is leading the way for all these markets. In tele-density, Sri Lanka is ahead, but in terms of technology, which India is adopting, is much more faster. So I must say that India is creating that excitement in whole of South Asia for others to follow.
We're now going to continue with lunch, after which we ask Mr. Sharma about the WiMAX technology. From Alcatel's R&D facility in Gurgaon, we are now off to Alcatel's manufacturing facility, which is located in Gurgaon as well. Okay, tell us what all do you manufacture here?
We manufacture the fixed line switches here, which can be used for local as well as trunk exchanges, which you must have heard of. These exchanges are being supplied to BSNL, MTNL and Tata.
Now, a lot of telecom companies are getting their shifting their manufacturing bases into India. Would it be manufacturing in the real sense of the word, or would it just be an assembling unit?
I think it's a question which depends from company to company. Alcatel has been manufacturing from the component level the fixed line switches, and now we have transferred technology to ITI for the mobile switches. So ITI is going to manufacture our BTS for mobile telephony. They are already manufacturing our technology for fixed line switches, and whatever they are going to manufacture it, they are supplying it to BSNL and MTNL.
2 years ago, India did not play a strategic role in Alcatel's global plan of action. What brought about that change, and what is the change?
I think it has to be dealt in two parts. First of all, India has been growing much faster in the last 2 years, so the market itself has improved. And the second part is till about 2 years back, we were only focused on the fixed line business. We had no other business in India. But in the last 2 years, we have gone into mobile business. We have gone into transmission. In the last 2 years, I can easily say that we have more than tripled.
It's 6 o'clock in the evening. We just had a look at the manufacturing unit, and now we're off to the corporate office once again. Looking into the future, what's your 2-year plan?
See, our focus area is going to be depending on the groups which we handle. For fixed line business, our focus is clearly the broadband. When it comes to mobile side, again, there are two things. One is making our presence more and more for the mobile infrastructure. That means going beyond BSNL. And the second is to work on the area of WiMAX.
You say WiMAX technology would be introduced, ready to be used in the next 2 years. How do you think rural India would really be able to benefit from it?
See, if you look at the teledensity in India, the overall teledensity is about 10%.
Which is much, much lower than China's.
Which is much lower than any other place. Look at Sri Lanka, which is 20%. Okay. So let's not go to China. China is very, very high. But if you look at India, it is 10%. And if you look at the division between rural and urban it is 25, rural it is 1.25. That means no matter what we say, the phones have not reached there. We feel WiMAX will fill that gap. And because it is going to use the lower frequency ranges, the distance which it can cover with their base station will be much more higher.
But assuming technology would be there, how will they be able to get access to the right content? You have an internet connection there, but I as a villager, how do I know that I should look at commodity prices, or what is it that I look for on the internet?
I think it's a question of chicken and egg story. The content developers don't develop the content for the rural market because the connectivity is not there. The people who are supposed to provide connectivity do not provide connectivity, thinking that content is not ready. I think somebody has to take the first step. And I feel, being an infrastructure provider, we would like to look at this opportunity in a very aggressive way, because we feel that the rural India today is ready for this technology jump.
Now, we've discussed WiMAX. Another very popular technology which has been in the news is 3G. What kind of impact would that have on rural India?
3G deployment in villages will still not be a reality, not because of the price of the infrastructure, but because of the price of the telephone.
Mr. Sharma, it's 7:15 in the evening. What's the plan?
Well, I have to do a few conference calls with Paris because they start working late. Not because they start working late, but because they are behind us in terms of time. And of course, after that, I have to go to railway station to pick up my son. But before that, we have a little bit celebration in the office. We have just received an order from SLT in Sri Lanka. So we are going to celebrate and we would like you to join with us. Thank you.
Tell us, how is Ravi to work with?
And he's giving, he has a lot of energy, and he's also giving the same to people. He's sharing his energy.
He puts a lot of pressure, but also puts a lot of confidence in people.
The first concept, being electrical engineer, which I have learned, that motor efficiency is maximum at full load. Okay, so if you want to get maximum efficiency of people, you have to give them a full load of work.
Thanks, success.
Here is for you. Like Black Forest or something else? It's good.
Yeah, it's nice. Thank you.
It is not the cake, it is the success.
I see. On that note, thank you so much, Mr. Sharma.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
All the
Thank you,
best.
all of you.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye. Bye. That was Mr. Ravi Sharma, the man responsible for pushing Alcatel's position from number 6 in the Indian telecom infrastructure market in 2 years to number 1 today. It's 9:15 in the evening and we've left him to attend to his conference calls and other meetings, as Alcatel would hope that it retains its numero uno position in the Indian market in the years to come. With camera person Tom Jacob, this is Ambika Anand for NDTV Profit.